Something might finally be changing with Samsung's Galaxy S series. And this time, it's not just about small software tweaks or design polish. If you've been waiting for Samsung to do something new with its camera hardware on the base, Galaxy S phones, there's finally a reason to pay attention. New reports suggest that Samsung could be upgrading the main camera sensor on the upcoming Galaxy S26, breaking a cycle of repetition that started all the way back with the Galaxy S23. For years now, Samsung has been using the same 50-megapixel ISOCELL GN3 sensor in its standard and Plus models. That means the Galaxy S23, S24, and even the yet-to-launch S25 all share the same core camera hardware. While Samsung has made software improvements and optimized performance along the way, many users have felt the actual image quality hasn't taken a real leap forward. But now, that could finally change. According to a reliable new leak, the Galaxy S26 is expected to come with a brand new 50-megapixel sensor. While the resolution might remain the same, what's different this time is the sensor itself. Early details hint that it won't be the familiar GN3, but a new ISOCELL sensor that hasn't been officially revealed yet. This new hardware could bring meaningful upgrades in key areas like light capture, autofocus speed, and image clarity, especially in low-light conditions. Although the exact name and specifications of the new sensor haven't been confirmed yet, the move away from the GN3 suggests that Samsung is finally ready to refresh the camera experience on its non-Ultra models. This is important because, for a long time, only the Ultra versions have received real hardware advancements, while the Base and Plus versions have been left behind. A new sensor would mark a serious shift for Samsung's strategy, one that could help it better compete with rivals like Apple and Google, who have been improving their camera technology consistently. As for the Galaxy S26 Plus, things aren't as clear. In recent years, the Base and Plus models have shared nearly identical camera specs, so it's possible that the new sensor would appear on both devices. But there's also talk that Samsung might shake things up even further. Some rumors are floating around that the company could replace the Plus model entirely with something new, possibly a Galaxy S26 Edge. This isn't the first time such a rumor has popped up, and it hasn't happened before, but the timing feels a bit different this year. If Samsung does go through with this change, we don't yet know whether the new Edge model would get the same camera upgrade as the base version. The bigger picture here is that Samsung seems to be preparing for a real refresh in its camera approach. For the Galaxy S26 lineup, while the GN3 sensor was never bad, it's now several years old. Other smartphone makers have started pushing ahead with advanced camera technology, leaving Samsung's standard S models trailing a bit. That gap could finally begin to close if this new sensor lives up to expectations. Of course, we're still months away from any official launch. Samsung usually reveals its S series in January or February, so the Galaxy S26 will likely be announced in early 2026. But as always, early leaks and supply chain details start showing up well before launch, giving us a good sense of what's coming. And based on what we know so far, Samsung might finally be giving its standard flagship phones the kind of upgrade fans have been asking for. So if you've been skipping the past few Galaxy S phones because the camera didn't feel worth the upgrade, this might be the moment you've been waiting for. A new sensor, a possible model shakeup, and a fresh start for Samsung's core lineup. It's all pointing to something more exciting than we've seen in a while. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with the latest Galaxy S26 news and all the big stories in tech.
Apple's latest budget-friendly iPhone 16e may look familiar on the outside, but a recent teardown has uncovered some surprising internal upgrades that make it stand out. While the phone retains the design language of older iPhones, sharing similarities with the iPhone 14, its internal components reveal a different story. A closer look at the iPhone 16e's internal structure shows a layout that closely resembles the iPhone 15, but with a few key changes. One of the biggest differences is the camera system. Instead of the dual camera setup found on the iPhone 15, Apple has opted for a single 48-megapixel wide lens on the 16e. By removing the secondary lens, Apple has freed up additional space inside the device. This extra space has been put to good use as the teardown confirms the inclusion of a larger battery, a welcome improvement for those prioritizing battery life. Initially, leaks suggested the iPhone 16e would house a 3,961 mAh battery, but the teardown reveals that the actual capacity is slightly higher at 4005 mAh. This difference may seem small, but any boost in battery life is always a major advantage, especially for users who rely on their phone throughout the day. Apple has also introduced an improved battery removal system that utilizes low voltage electric current, making battery replacements easier and reducing e-waste. This system, which was first introduced in the iPhone 15, streamlines the process of swapping out an old battery without the use of excessive adhesives, a change that could be beneficial for long-term device maintenance. Another important upgrade is Apple's shift toward in-house modem technology. The iPhone 16e features Apple's C1 chip, their first self-designed 5G modem. This chip combines a 4nm baseband with a 7nm transceiver, which results in improved power efficiency. Early testing suggests that Apple's C1 chip consumes less power compared to the Qualcomm modems used in previous iPhone models. This efficiency gain could contribute to longer battery life and improved overall performance, particularly in areas with weaker signal strength where modems tend to work harder. One area where Apple has chosen not to innovate is Face ID. The teardown confirms that the Face ID module in the iPhone 16e remains unchanged from the iPhone 14. This is not entirely surprising, given that the phone retains the notch instead of adopting the dynamic island found in Apple's higher-end models. This decision is likely a cost-cutting measure, allowing Apple to maintain an entry-level price while focusing on improving other aspects of the phone. Apple's approach with the iPhone 16e suggests a strategy of bringing newer hardware innovations into more affordable devices while keeping external design changes minimal. The larger battery, more efficient 5G modem, and simplified camera system may appeal to users who prioritize battery life and performance over additional camera lenses or cutting-edge design features. For those looking for an iPhone that offers solid battery life, a capable camera, and improved power efficiency, the iPhone 16e could be a strong contender. While it may lack some of the premium features found in Apple's higher-end models, its practical upgrades make it a compelling choice for users who simply want a reliable and long-lasting device. Let me know what you think about the iPhone 16e's upgrades. Do these changes make it more appealing, or do you think Apple should have included more premium features? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on the latest tech. The competition to create the thinnest smartphone is intensifying, and recent leaks suggest that Apple might be preparing to take the lead with the iPhone 17 Air. This follows Tecno's unveiling of its concept Spark Slim, which initially claimed to be the world's slimmest phone. However, Apple's upcoming device could set a new standard in ultra-thin smartphone design. A leaked dummy model of the iPhone 17 Air suggests an incredibly slim profile, measuring just 5.44 millimeters in thickness. If this leak is accurate, it would make the iPhone 17 Air one of the slimmest smartphones ever made. For comparison, Tecno's Spark Slim measures 5.75 millimeters, and the rumored Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge is expected to be around 5.84 millimeters. However, while the phone itself may be thin, the camera bump is expected to be slightly larger, potentially adding to the overall depth of the device. With a focus on a thinner design, certain trade-offs might be necessary. One of the biggest concerns is battery life. The iPhone 17 Air is rumored to have a battery capacity of around 3,000 mAh, which is significantly smaller than the batteries found in Apple's Pro models. A smaller battery could mean reduced screen-on time. Although Apple's A19 chip is expected to offer improved energy efficiency, help manage power consumption. The display is rumored to have a resolution of 1260 by 2740 pixels, with a 120 Hz refresh rate for smooth scrolling and animations. The screen size is expected to